What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the monthly Modern Qualifier here at OCM at Game Kastle and Ankeny.
It's round two, and in the feature match area this round, at the top of your screen, we have Daniel. He's playing Jeskai Breach, and at the bottom we have Chris, who is on four-color ring.
So not on Rhinos.
Not on Rhinos.
Holy moly!
Our resident Rhinos savant is not playing Rhinos today.
Between these two decks,
he's got Delighted Halfling. He's got Rin and 6. He's got Teferi Time Raveler. He's got the One Ring.
Yeah, Delighted Halfling, exceptional in this deck.
Yeah, it powers out everything.
Yeah, all of your planeswalkers. The ring itself makes it uncounterable.
Yep.
All of your four-color creatures, two-color creatures, very good. How many rings between these two decks?
I have no idea. I'm going to say 6.
I'm going to say 8.
Do you think there's 8 copies?
I think that Daniel's on a full playset. I know Chris is on a full playset.
Chris is on a full playset.
Yeah. I am guessing that the current builds of Breach, I think, really lean on the ring to give them time.
So when these two players sat down across from each other, Chris goes, "Are we going to go to time?"
The ring sort of is intention is to draw the games out, right?
Well, I don't know about drawing the games out. No, it tends to end the game pretty quickly.
I suppose that's true,
you die. So Daniel's going to get things started off quickly here with a Steam Vince and a Ragavan.
Monkey coming out, going right to 17.
On Chris's turn, it looks like he will... What is happening here?
I don't know.
I'm not sure what all that was about. We're just throwing
I think he's fetching.
Here.
He's just shortcutting a fetch.
Well, he had another land, though.
Because I think that's a fetch that
he had a Misty Rainforest out. Anyways, here is a Temple Garden. That is a Delighted Halfling.
Yeah. He shortcutted a fetch into a Temple Garden to cast the Delighted Halfling.
He had another fetch land in his hand that he put into the graveyard.
What in the heck is that?
That is my point, my man. He had another fetch land. He dropped it into the graveyard.
I'm gonna fight Blake right now. And we got the Mox. What Amber?
Yes, that is a Mox Amber. So it looks like Delighted Halfling is going to hit the graveyard here. A Mox Amber is going to not hit the graveyard, hit a hand.
Yeah.
After this Mox Amber casts a Teferi Time Raveler. Ragavan's going to hit the red zone and exile a Stomping Ground.
You'd think this was an aggro deck. Just hammering out 3-drops on turn 2.
Yeah, most def.
This is a great opener for Jeskai Breach. He doesn't really need to breach. He's just getting in there.
So on Chris's turn, it looks like a Rin and 6...
Going to be able to ping down that Teferi.
Can kill the Ragavan.
Oh, that's true.
I like killing the Ragavan here.
He has the Breach and the...
Shows him a Breach and a Grinding Station. Looking for the concession here. Is that what that was?
I think he needs another artifact. So we got Grinding Station.
So here's a Grinding Station. Grinding Station, gonna mill 3 cards.
Untap.
Mox Amber is going to go away. Here is the Underworld Breach. That's going to cast the Mox Amber. Yes? No?
Yep.
It looks like maybe we have a response from Chris Dieter here. I would imagine that's going to be a Force of Negation. No? Yes?
Nope. We just letting it go. But nope, we're counting Storm.
So... Well, he's just making mana here. He has 2, so he's just going through the loops. And it looks like he has found... What are we looking for here?
Yeah, it's a good question. I generally see people concede before this point.
The efficiency that he is comboing off.
This is incredible.
Both players are understanding what is happening here, and we're just efficiently comboing off here. So it looks like he has one card left in his deck, and here's a Thassa's Oracle. Good game? Question mark?
So Thassa's Oracle, ETB trigger, you win the game if you have...
Good game? Question mark?
I think Chris is just laughing at how quickly that happened to him.
Unfortunate.
I mean, that's what Jeskai Breach wants to do.
So he's gonna take a second here to look through his deck.
Yeah.
I do believe Game 1 has concluded here.
Yeah.
We will be right back with Game 2.
BRB. Hello and welcome back to Game 2, Round 2. We got post board happening here.
Players are still resolving mulligans here.
Yes, sir.
I'm still just reeling from how quickly Game 1 was over.
It was honestly a bit shocking. Whoop. Alarm happening there.
And he just, he was... Both players understanding what was happening, me having no clue what was going on. He just starts milling 3 cards at a time, and I'm like, obviously this is a grinding station thing.
Yeah, it's a Thoracle win. What? I don't think I've never actually seen somebody win. It's generally just a concession.
Sure. I think he generally wins with Thassa's Oracle.
Yeah.
It's much more reliable than something like Grape Shot, or I don't know what you're imagining exactly.
I hadn't thought of it.
Oh, okay.
It's just I don't see the match very much. Also, I just realized that Daniel still had a Teferi in play, so Chris literally couldn't respond.
Oh, correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
I hadn't considered that either.
Yeah, and there
Nothing you can do, my friend.
No, Teferi's sort of a messed up card. Abandoned Pioneer. For that reason.
Yeah, so I believe we talked about this on the podcast. Head on over to YouTube. That's youtube.com/oldcrankymancollectibles. Check out all of our content up there. In the podcast, I was just saying that Teferi is the best silence that has ever been printed.
You're correct.
Yeah. So he just comes into play. He gets to, get something out of play if you so choose. He also replaces himself when you do that, and then your opponents just can't do anything to you.
Can't counter your spells, can't activate a build, just can't do anything on your turn.
Yeah.
Or you didn't do anything, sometimes they, if you suspend an Ancestral Vision, it's good luck, I guess, you're just not resolving
Not
that ever.
going to get to cast that ever, thanks, though.
Cascade, also not happening. It does so much in so many formats. And for 3 mana, it's absurd.
Oh my goodness. So it looks like...
Chris did take the play.
We have a Chalice on 0 here. Then we're going to pass back to Chris. Chris is going to take a draw step. Here's a land, and he's just going to pass things back. So this Chalice on 1 here turns off Mox Amber.
And Mishra's Bauble.
Mishra's Bauble. I think Mox Amber is the key one, because that's how he combos
so there's
off.
an Emery, Lurker, Volok.
So what else... Chalice on 2 also seems pretty good against this deck, because that would counter Grinding Station and Thassa's Oracle.
And Breach.
Oh, and
Breach is only
Breach
2
itself,
mana.
yes.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
That card's messed up.
Breach is only 2 mana. Chalice of the Void seems pretty good against this deck.
It's going to slow him down, and that's what Chris wants.
What ways does he have to interact with his Chalice here, bounce-wise?
Otawara.
He does have copies of Otawara, yes.
Yeah, Teferi can just bounce it.
That's true, yep.
Teferi, just an actual messed up card.
Yeah, so this is just the best Teferi deck, is that what you're telling me?
I think these are 2 of the best Teferi decks.
I love 4 and 5 color decks.
Yeah.
I love 4 and 5 color decks so much. Look at this clean fetch, triome. Look, I have all my colors mana base.
But also look at Daniel, just basics. Full on basics.
Beautiful basics, by the way.
These are betas. Look at that art. Oh my god.
Gorgeous.
Sort of envious of those.
Have you seen the new RK Post counterspell?
Oh, Chef's Kiss.
Yeah. Oh, it's great.
Chef's Kiss.
Yeah, and the flavor text.
I
bet it wasn't good anyway.
Yeah. Oh no, it's a shame. Nice spell there. Shame something happened to it.
Oh yeah, no.
That wasn't good anyways. The masks one, I think.
No, it's
Tempest?
Yeah, I think it is Tempest.
Yeah.
I don't know. Counterspell flavor text always
very funny.
Always never not good. Expressive Iteration from Daniel here. He's going to look at 3 cards.
Also Abandoned Pioneer.
What?
Expressive Iteration.
Rightly so.
Yeah.
Card's cracked.
We get an Urza Saga.
So that's going to come into play. It'll get a lore counter on it.
Saga count? Lore? Is it lore? I thought it was. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I just
sagas get lore counters.
That's so funny. And it's also a deck that because it just makes so many artifacts. It's going like
right. You could just kill them with construct
tokens.
Exactly.
The secondary game.
Yeah. Plan B.
Yeah.
Endurance though is going to take care of Daniel's graveyard. We'll pass back to Chris here. Chris has one of those all-text forests. Nice.
Oh my God.
Endurance going to hit the red zone. That's going to take Daniel down to 17 question mark.
Yeah, looks like it. He's probably not going to block with that Emery. As much as it's not doing a lot right now, it can he doesn't need the his life total's a resource he can leverage.
Right, yeah.
Look at this display.
Here is a Plains.
Oh my God.
Here is a Teferi.
An all-text Teferi. Are we just... Oh, no, he's countering it. Yeah, probably for the best.
What is that? Is it a Metallic Rebuke? What is this card?
I think it's a... Standby?
It's the improvise one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is that the Metallic Rebuke?
I can't remember what the name of it is.
It is a smell-piercing fact.
Oh, that's a Springleaf Drum.
Yeah.
Springleaf Drum made a blue mana for spell
he got to tap Emery Springleaf Drum.
Gotcha.
I love that Springleaf Drum art too.
I hate it because I have no idea what that card is.
I played the original Lorwyn one.
I thought it was like a chromatic sphere.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
If you played the original Lorwyn one, I would know what it was.
Yeah, you'd see the little gobbo banging on the drum, and the flavor text that I have no idea what it does.
Tragic. Here's a grinding station.
Setting up. So Daniel has a couple pieces of the combo in play. He does have Emery. And he does have Grinding Station now. He's going to be able to fetch out a Bauble, or not a Bauble, a Mox Amber. Oh, and we got a... Yeah.
So a Leyline Binding is going to... What is it going after?
It's targeting the
Emery? Yeah,
Emery.
okay. Yeah. That makes sense. He would not be able to combo because of the Chalice.
Oh, that's right. He still has a Chalice in play.
Yeah. So... we're going to pass back to Chris here. Looks like 3 mana. Here is a second copy of Teferi, Time Raveler.
A heinous second copy. And it's bouncing an enchantment.
Going to come down and bounce this Urza Saga.
It doesn't say non-land. Did you know that? It just says creature enchantment artifact. Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
Yep, we can take care of Urza Saga here. Effectively strip mining Daniel.
Yeah, definitely.
Chris is going to draw a card from his Teferi here,
and that token is only a 3/3. So he just doesn't even care.
Serve.
I thought he was going to block it.
He's just trying to keep Daniel off of the combo long enough that he can kill him.
Oh, he has a prismatic ending. Okay.
Yes.
That's where we are.
So either you're blocking or I'm killing the construct anyway. Just keep him off all of his cards and attack him with this 3/4, and eventually we'll get there, right?
Yeah, Endurance, pretty big body. 3 mana, 3/4, exquisite.
Yeah, most definitely. Endurance, one of my favorite of the free elementals. Here is the One Ring. This is the first time that we have had this on Modern Stream. Yep. We've had it in Canadian Highlander quite a few times up to this point. So the One Ring is going to come in. That is going to give Daniel protection from everything.
Yep.
And then it's also going to draw him a card.
Immediately replaces itself.
So he's passing back to Chris here. Looks like Chris is just going to take a draw step and pass back.
Not bouncing it. I guess Teferi couldn't bounce it. You don't want to bounce it with Teferi, right?
Daniel is going to... No, I wouldn't think so. Daniel's going to lose 1 life from his ring here. Looks like we're going to discuss life totals here. There might be a little bit of a discrepancy. Let's see. He was at 17. He took 3 from the Endurance. That would put him at 14 and then lose 1 from the ring. So, yep, he should be at 13.
Yep, he's correct.
So, anyways, back on Daniel's turn. Urza Saga is going to get another lore counter.
Can I just say how nice it is that our players get along with each other? It doesn't feel like it's...
Yeah, extremely...
There's no corner casing here.
Extremely friendly community here. So the One Ring is going to draw 2 cards for Daniel. Looks like a fetch land. That's going to get cracked. He's going to go down to 10, perhaps getting a shock land. There is a Sacred Foundry. Yeah. What do we got here, Dan, my man?
So he's got Chalice on 0 still. So what are our options?
Here is 3 mana. A copy of Teferi of his own, perhaps?
Or an Emery. There was blue mana in there.
Emery costs 1 mana right now.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
it is a Teferi Time Raveler, so that's going to come down.
Bounce Chalice.
Chalice is going to go away.
There it is.
So we are free to combo here.
There's Emery. Okay.
Here is Emery. Emery is going to mill 4 cards. Here is 2 mana coming.
We got a bobble too.
Here is an Underworld Breach.
Yeah, this is game.
It's not, unless we have a Mox Amber.
We can cast Bobble.
Yes, but it doesn't net mana until we find Amber.
That's right. Yeah, we do need some. Oh, he can loop the Bobble. Milling himself and looping the Bobble.
Maybe a copy of Beseju here from Chris is going to be able to break this up.
He has to. Oh yeah, Beseju isn't a spell.
Correct. He tapped 2 mana there and then he paused. Just going to continue to breach here.
Because he can mill without making mana until he hits the Mox Amber.
Right.
And then he can start making mana, and then he can...
Oh, sure. You mean he can just keep playing the same bobble over and over and over again?
Yeah, and just mill with it over and over. And he's... Ideally, once
there is the Mox Amber,
and so that's where we're breaching.
He shows in the Mox Amber, and the Beseju is going to take care of this Underworld Breach.
So I have a question.
What's up?
If Chris lets Daniel mill to the point where he has the presuming that Daniel doesn't have the Thoracle in hand, if he mills down to a single card, that last mill trigger, he can Beseju the Breach. And then have his opponent have a single card in library.
Sure.
That could have been I was just thinking
suppose,
about letting him mill his entire deck out.
At that point, you've already made your mana, and you can just cast your Thoracle and win anyway.
But if Thoracle's in the graveyard, your single copy.
Oh, okay.
You can wait until your opponent has a cast trigger on the stack.
Yeah, I suppose an Unholy Heat is going to take care of this Endurance.
It's risky though, right? If your opponent has any amount.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure you just take care of the breach when he shows you that he can make mana.
Yeah.
So, Bobble is going to get cracked.
The One Ring doing a lot of work. Daniel has drawn so many cards off of it already, and it's done nothing. It's done barely anything to him.
Yeah, so
he's taking 1 damage.
Chalice on 1 is going to hit the battlefield again. Teferi's going to tick up. Copy of Misty Rainforest going to come into play. He's going to pass back to Daniel. Daniel's going to lose 2 from the One Ring, go down to just 6 life. I have killed myself more with the One Ring than I think probably any other card. I can't tell you the number of times I've flipped an Emrakul the Aeon's Torn off of a Dark Confidant, and still I think the One Ring has killed me more times in the last couple of weeks than any other Magic card.
The downside is that there is a level of inevitability for your opponent if you can't interact with your own ring. Of course, if Daniel plays another copy of the ring,
right,
he can reset it.
He can also bounce it with Teferi.
If he casts it, his Teferi is only on 1 loyalty right now.
I'm just saying that's an out.
Correct. Yeah. So I don't know what he's doing. He's got a Chalice on 0.
He's resolving his Urza Saga tutor trigger.
Oh, he's not casting it.
Correct.
It just goes into play.
Correct.
Love it. Just drawing 4 cards, no fear.
Oh, I was wondering what we were doing with that. Is that card? That's not Manamo. Is that card called Manamo?
Yeah, Manamo's Water's Edge.
He used it to untap the One Ring. That's pretty dope tech.
That's absurd. That card's so good now.
Just planning on winning this turn, I think.
I hope, yeah, or at least he hopes. I've got no skin in the game here.
Rubber Duck Sauce in the chat says the ring tempts you.
It does. Oh, man.
Yeah, when it first got spoiled, Stefan was up in arms because the One Ring doesn't tempt you, and I was like, yeah, but it's gonna kill you a lot.
Yeah. It doesn't. It's also not an equipment. You can't put the One Ring on a creature. So I was watching Aspiring Spike, and he was actually part of the consultant team for this set, for the Lord of the Rings set.
Sure.
And the only thing that he says about the One Ring is when he saw it a couple of years ago when it was in pre-development, it was a totally different card.
Oh,
was a completely different card.
Oh, that's right. That's crazy.
He can't talk about it because obviously they may reuse the design at some point.
Right, NDAs and such.
Yeah, I have to believe that it was an equipment that was like kind of poopy.
Or like something. Like, honestly, I think the card is a huge flavor win.
It is.
And it's so subtle, and like you don't see up front that like this card is just going to end your existence on this plane so many times.
Everybody wants it.
You're like, I got to draw 4 more cards, man, because I might find a way to not die.
Look at the number of cards in Daniel's hand right now.
Got to draw. I got to draw 4 more cards, man.
Yeah, because I could draw the answer. I could draw the thing. Also, it could just kill me next turn.
He is going to bobble himself here. Yeah, totally.
Oh my God!
What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 cards in hand, something like that.
He's shocking this in. He's shocking it in.
Okay, so
he's at 4.
The One Ring is lethal. Not sure how many cards Chris has in his hand. You can see over there. He's just very poised.
He's just watching.
Here is another copy of the One Ring.
There it is.
That's going to legend rule that one.
Is he going to tap it to draw a card though?
Of course.
Go to 3.
Draw a card.
I guess go to 3 on your next turn. It's fine. Yeah. Notably, this doesn't protect your planeswalkers, right? Like your
your creatures and your planeswalkers are still vulnerable.
But Chris has no creatures in play, so Teferi's still doing the job, which is no counter spells, no interaction. Beseju's basically it. Chris, I think, is hoping for a Renin 6. If you can get a Renin 6, you can buy back the Beseju.
Actually, yeah, you're right about that. Renin 6 being able to pick up that Beseju and use it again would be pretty clutch here. Daniel, without any additional mana here, will not be able to combo off this turn unless he has something like
go to discard,
double Mox Amber in his hand or something like that. He is just going to end his turn. Looks like a copy of Spell Pierce and a couple lands are going to hit the graveyard.
Yep.
Chris is going to untap. He's going to take his Teferi up.
He did pitch a Mox Amber.
A Steam Vince is going to hit the battlefield tapped, and looks like he's just going to pass back to Daniel. At the end of his turn, he's going to draw a card with the One Ring, go down to 3 in his upkeep. He's going to take a draw step here. Let's see what he's got.
He's going to draw 2.
Immediately drawing 2 more cards.
Not even hesitating.
This card is absurd, my man.
How big? How many cards? I want to check. I would love to see how many cards he actually has in deck right now. And this is after his opponent Enduranced him.
Yeah, he has drawn quite a few extra cards.
And here we go. We got a
Wear and Tear. A Wear Tear is going to take care of the Chalice. I believe Chris just has 1 card left in hand. Here is an Underworld Breach.
The titular name of the deck.
So...
Is this it?
Let's see.
Let's see if Chris picks... Yeah, Chris is scooping
and
it up.
And it looks like Chris is just going to pick his cards up.
Daniel got
there. He's offering him a fist bump. There we go.
Well played,
Daniel going to take this one down in a pretty clean 2-0 here. Just the One Ring's ability to continually refill his hand. You know, Chris played a game of Magic there. He had the Chalice. Yeah. He had the Teferi. He had the Beseju. He had the Leyline Binding. Like... he got rid of his graveyard with the Endurance. He played Magic.
He had a lethal threat on board.
But the One Ring's ability to just continually gas Daniel up and carry on, like as if none of that had ever happened, is just unreal.
If the chat counted the number of cards that Daniel drew off the One Ring, I would love to see it. It was probably double digits, right? 10 cards, probably.
Yeah, I would say it's probably pretty close to 10 cards.
Absolutely incredible, because we had it 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 9, 10. I think he drew 12 cards total.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Wild West out here at Game Kastle in Ankeny for the OCM Modern Championship Series Qualifier. That's it for round 2. We're going to take a short break where we will watch the finals from 2 months ago. 2 months ago. A Yawgmoth Mirror.
Yeah, very good.
We'll be back with round 3.
BRB, love you.